In the blackness of night, an aerial dogfight is unfolding. One so advanced, it makes modern fighter jets look primitive. A bat unleashes a sonic missile, a shriek at over 130 decibels, turned beyond human hearing. The Echo paints a 3D battlefield in its mind, tracking a target no thinner than a human hair. But the other part is not defenseless. It's listening. Ears on its chest detect the incoming attack, triggering evasive spiral and power dives mid-fight. Some of them fire back, jamming the bat's sonar with ultrasonic clicks, a living electronic countermeasure pods. This is the longest-running electronic warfare on Earth, a 15 million year arms race that had produced stealth bombers, radar jammers, and countermeasure pods, all built by evolution. In this video, you'll discover how bats conquer darkness with biological sonar, how their prey fought back with acoustic warfare, and why this incredible battle reshaped the night into something far stranger than silence. To really get how brilliant the bat is, you first have to appreciate the problem it solves every single night: the fundamental challenge of darkness. For most animals, when the sun goes down, it's time to pack it in, find shelter, and wait for dawn. The night is cold, it's disorienting, and it's full of unseen dangers. For a predator, trying to hunt without light is a monumental task. Prey is invisible, obstacles become threats, and just getting around is a gamble. But millions of years ago, this darkness presented a massive opportunity. The night skies were swarming with insects, an untapped buffet for any creature that could figure out how to find them. The catch? You had to conquer the dark. Vision, the sense that rules the daytime, is a total failure at night. So how do you move, hunt, and live without light? This is the evolutionary pressure cooker that forged the bat. While other creatures were sleeping, the ancestors of bats faced a choice: adapt or stay grounded. They need a whole new sense, one that didn't depend on the sun. They needed a way to make the invisible visible. Early bats took to the skies, a revolutionary move that gave them their own ecological niche. But flying wasn't enough. Flying in the dark is a recipe for disaster unless you can see what's coming, as anyone who's tried to find the bathroom in an unfamiliar house at night can attest. The solution they evolved is pure genius. It's an answer so elegant and so effective that it allowed bats to become one of the most successful groups of mammals on Earth, diversifying into more than 1,460 species that rule the night skies. They solved the problem of darkness, not by trying to see, but by creating their own form of perception. So what is the game-changing solution? It's called echolocation, and at its core, the idea is surprisingly simple. In fact, it's something humans have occupied with our own technology: sonar. Imagine you're a big empty hall. If you shout, you'll hear an echo. From that, you can get a rough sense of the room size, maybe where the walls are. Now imagine doing that with such incredible precision that the returning of echo paints a detailed picture of every chair, every doorway, every single person in that room. That's what a bat does, hundreds of times a second. Echolocation is a two-part process: the call and the echo. First, the bat unleashes a sound. Not just any sound, but a focused, powerful burst of sonic energy. These sound waves shoot out from the bat's mouth or nose and travel into the world at the speed of sound. When those waves hit something, a tree, a cave, a wall, or a tiny mosquito, they bounce back. This is the echo. And this is where the real magic happens. The bat's ears, often huge and folded, are like super sensitive satellite dishes, designed to catch these faint returning signals. But the bat isn't just hearing an echo, it's decoding a firehouse of information. The time it takes for the echo to return tells the bat the exact distance to the object. The tiny difference in when the sound hits the left and right ear reveals the object horizontal direction. Many microbats also have a small flap of skin in their ear called a tragus, which helps them figure out an object's elevation. It's a constant high-speed conversation with the world around it. Call, echo, call, echo. With every cycle, the bat's brain is frantically processing this data, building and rebuilding a mental map of its surroundings in real time. And it's not just a map of still objects. By sensing these tiny shifts in the echoes, a bat can get a sense of an object's size, its shape, its texture, and even how fast it's moving. This is biosonar perfected over millions of years, turning the vast dark night into a landscape of breathtaking detail. To call what a bat does a scream is both right on the money and massive understatement. These aren't just random noises, they are highly sophisticated, precision-engineered acoustic tools. And the reason we can walk through a summer night totally unaware of this sonic storm is simple. Most of it happens at frequencies way beyond our ears can pick. Humans' hearing for young, healthy ears usually tops around 2 kHz. Bats' echolocation calls, on the other hand, can start where we leave off, and in some species, skyrocket to over 200 kHz. These are ultrasonic sound waves, vibrating at a pitch so high they're completely silent to us. To produce these sounds, bats have a specialized larynx, or voice box, that's a marvel of bioengineering. It gives some species an incredible vocal range, spanning up to 7 octaves, far beyond the 3 or 4 most mammals, including us, can manage. These sounds are also incredibly loud. If we could hear them, some bat calls would be louder than a smoke alarm or a rock concert, registering at over 130 decibels. They need that power to make sure a strong echo comes back from far away. So how do they not deafen themselves? Bats have a neat trick. Muscles in their middle ear can momentarily contract, dampening their own hearing with a split second they emit their calls, then instantly relaxing to listen for the faint reply. It's nature's version of hitting the mute button right before you sneeze on a voice call. The way they send out these sounds is also specialized. Some bats are mouth emitters, shouting their calls from an open mouth, often tilting their heads to aim the sound beam. Others are nasal emitters, using complex, fleshy structures on their faces called nose leaves to focus and direct the sound, sort of like a lens focuses a light. These weird and wonderful facial structures are actually advanced pieces of acoustic equipment with a unique shape directly tied to the sound frequencies the bat uses. Bats also constantly tweak their skulls for the job at hand. When just cruising in an open area, a bat might use longer, lower frequency calls to scan a wide area. But as it closes in, on a potential meal, things get intense. The call gets shorter, faster, and sweep across a range of frequencies. This rapid-fire sequence, known as a feeding buzz, can reach up to 200 pulses per second, giving the bat a real-time, high-resolution update on its target's exact location. This allows it to make the final split-second corrections needed to stitch a tiny, erratically moving insect right out of the air. The bat has sent out its call and its ear have caught the faint whisper of a returning echo. But how does that raw data become a rich, three-dimensional perception of the world? This is where the bat's brain performs its most incredible trick, turning sound into a form of sight. The brain's auditory cortex is a computational powerhouse built for speed. As we've learned, the time delay between call and echo gives the bat a good measure of distance. The brain can distinguish the time differences down to microseconds, allowing it to pinpoint an object's position with astonishing accuracy. But it's even more clever than that. The echo that comes back is never a perfect copy. It's been changed by the object it hit. A hard, smooth surface, like a rock, produces a sharp, clean echo. A soft, fuzzy surface, like a moth's body, returns a fainter, more scattered echo. A fluttering wing will modulate the echo in a rhythmic way. The bat's brain analyzes these subtle differences in the echo's texture to figure out the object's physical property. It can literally hear the differences between a leaf and a beetle, a skill that sadly has very little application in most human day-to-day lives. This is how some bats can detect things as fine as a spider's web in total darkness. It's not seeing a web in a visual sense, but its hypersensitive system registers the incredibly faint echo, distinguishing it from the empty air around it. Bats also use a principle well known to physicists, the Doppler effect. It's the same thing that makes a siren change pitch as an ambulance passes you. As a bat flies toward an object, the returning echo waves get compressed, raising their frequency. If the object is moving away, the frequency is lowered. By sensing these tiny frequency shifts, a bat can calculate not just its own speed, but also the speed and trajectory of its prey. Some bats even have what's called Doppler shift compensation. They actually adjust their outgoing calls to keep the returning echo in the sweet spot of their hearing range, making it easier to detect the fluttering wings of an insect against a cluttered background. Recent discoveries are also revealing a fascinating feedback loop in the bat's brain. Just before a bat sends out a call, its motor planning center sends a signal to the auditory cortex. This signal essentially tells the auditory system, "Get ready, an echo is coming." This primes the brain to be extra sensitive to the incoming information, making sure even the faintest whisper is processed with maximum efficiency. It's a system where the brain isn't just passively waiting for information, it's actively predicting and preparing for it, creating a seamless, dynamic perception of a world painted in sound. Echolocation gives bats a huge advantage, opening up a 24/7 insect buffet. But evolution is never a one-sided story. For as long as bats have used sound to hunt, their prey has been evolving ways to listen to it. This kicked off an ancient evolutionary arms race fought in the dark, a high-stake duel of sound and survival that's been going on for tens of millions of years. The main opponents in this sonic battle are moths. For moth, the high-frequency ping of an approaching bat's death sentence. So many moth species evolve their own simple ears, often on their chests or abdomens, specially turned to the ultrasonic frequencies bats use. When a moth hears a distant bat, it can take evasive action, turning and flying the other way. If the bat gets closer and the calls get louder, the moth's strategy gets more desperate. It might start doing erratic spiral, loops, and power dives, making itself a much harder target. But the arms race didn't stop there. Some bats fought back with stealth echolocation. The barberstole bat, for example, is famous for its quiet calls, which are much less intense than those of other bats that hunt in the open. This allows it to sneak up on a moth before it's detected. Other bats shifted their call frequencies to be outside the hearing range of most moths. The spotted bat, for instance, uses low-frequency calls around 9 to 12 kHz that many moths can't hear well. The moths, of course, have their own counter moves. The incredible tiger moth doesn't just hear the bat, it talks back. When a bat is not hot pursuit, the tiger moth produces its own series of ultrasonic clicks. For years, scientists debated what these clicks were for. Were they meant to startle the bat? Was it a warning, telling the bat I'm toxic and I taste disgusting? Or was it something even more clever? As it turns out, it can be all of those above. In some cases, the clicks are warning, but other tiger moths use their clicks as a form of acoustic jamming. The moth's rapid clicks interfere with bats' echolocation, masking the echo from its own body and creating a kind of sonic smokescreen to cover its escape. The moth basically becomes a living electronic countermeasure pod, as one does. This constant back and forth showcases just how powerful echolocation has been in shaping the entire nocturnal world. This incredible arms race between bats and moths is a perfect example of how predators and prey drive evolution. If you think these animals of natural battles are fascinating, we've made a whole other video on the incredible defensive mechanism. We started our journey in the dark, in a world defined by the limits of our own senses. But we've seen that the night is not empty. It's alive with the symphony of sounds we can't hear, painting a world of detail we can barely imagine. The bat, through the stunning evolutionary masterstroke of echolocation, has completely conquered this hidden dimension. It's a system that allows for the detection of an insect's fluttering wings, the creation of a rich 3D world of whispers, and a high-stakes arms race that has shaped life itself. The story of Bat is a powerful reminder that our perception of reality is just one version of it all. All around us, other creatures are experiencing the world in ways that are fundamentally different from our own. Through senses we may never fully grasp, the world is full of invisible wonders. And the bat's soaring silently through the night is a testament to the incredible, beautiful, and endlessly surprising ingenuity of life. It challenges us to look deeper, listen closer, and appreciate the vibrant, invisible worlds that exist just beyond the edge of our perception.